Fratricidal Eruptions and Withering Brotherhood. Part 1. Hello friends, last I told you about rebellion in the making. Today I will tell you about our Withering Brotherhood. Part 4. Attacks against minorities. There have been increasing cases of attacks and destruction of churches, rapes and murders of Christians in Odisha, Karnataka, Kerala, Gujarat, Delhi and elsewhere by the Bajrang Dal on the plea that Christians are forcing conversions. It was September 2008. According to the Global Peace Index GPI 2011, India ranks amongst the 20th least peaceful nations in the world. Zee News Bureau 26 May 2011. By 2015, the deteriorating law and order further pushed the nation towards the bottom rung of the Peace Index. The Western world, particularly the US and European Union, EU, have expressed serious concern on this and embraced India before the world community. Earlier, French President Mr. Nicolas Sarkozy conveyed as much to our then Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, when he was in France on 29 September 2008. And a few days later, Ms. Condoleezza Rice, the then US Secretary of State, said the same thing when she visited India on 4th of October 2008. The US Annual Human Rights Report, released by the then Secretary of State, Ms. Hillary Clinton, has expressed their concern about India's lax ethic on human rights violations. The report says widespread impunity at all levels of government remains a serious problem. The UN too has expressed serious concern on our human rights violations. Concern by external agencies in this manner is indeed embarrassing and belittles our sovereignty. Lately, foreign nations and media have been casting aspersions on our poor governance. Their criticism in this manner on our governance is quite unusual. Possibly India's uncertain and alarmingly dwindling economy is a matter of concern. Friends, India is a huge ship. If it starts sinking, its turbulence may cause a maelstrom of recession in other countries. In similar context, US President Mr. Barack Obama, during his visit to India in 2015, said on 27 January that India will succeed as long as it is not splintered on religious lines. He also quoted Article 25 of our Constitution, freedom of religion, to lay emphasis on his statement. The remark may be caution to avoid splintering episodes like of Gujarat in 2002. He also gave his heart in expressing that liberty and dignity to every human being are essential necessities for making a nation happy and prosperous. Kudos to Mr. Obama. What we have forgotten ourselves, he travelled 13,500 kilometers to remind us of our own constitutional obligations. I wish learned judiciary is listening to it. Mr. Obama is a law graduate from Harvard Law School and taught constitutional law at University of Chicago, USA. He is also a Nobel Peace Prize laureate of 2009. Former Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice K.G. Balakrishnan, has also expressed his concern on such polarization of the nation for petty political gains. Note, however, many of our learned leaders and religious outfits called it interference in our internal matters. This is not only showing our passivity towards fraternity but also playing oblivion to the economic and technological favors that we seek from them. It is mandatory on our part to provide a safe destination for their nationals visiting or working on our soil. Number 5. Citing some more aberrations, Mr. Ashok Shingal of VHP on BJP victory May 2014 declared unscathed, it is the return of Hinduism. Yogi Adityanath, then MP, now Chief Minister of UP, declared his plan for mass conversions. Adding fuel to the fire, Mr. Rajeshwar Singh of Dharam Jagaran Samiti propounded untrammeled for a Hindu Rashtra by 2021, audaciously yelling at the Muslims and the Christians to convert to Hinduism or leave the country. Mr. Mohan Bhagwat of Rashtriya Swamsevak Sangh RSS and leader of Bajrang Dal and Akhil Bharatiya Hindu Mahasabha chanted Ghar Vapsi and similar rhetorics. Besides issues like Godse, temples and bus across India and Bahu Lao Beti Bachao Abhiyan and so on. As if it was not enough, Mr. Mohan Bhagwat shot yet another salvo, further shattering the fraternity, yelling, Nobel laureate Mother Teresa worked with the motive of converting the poor to Christianity. As unusual fierce debate followed on most media channels and coverage in the newspapers. Friends, let me quote what Gandhiji said on conversion. Number one, I believe that there is no such thing as conversion from one faith to another in the accepted sense of the word. It is a highly personal matter for the individual and his God. I may not have any design upon my neighbor as to his faith, which I must honor, even as I honor my own. Having reverently studied the scriptures of the world, I could no more think of asking a Christian or a Muslim or a Musliman or a Parsi or a Jew to change his faith than I would think of changing my own faith. Ridiculous philosophy on population Vishwa Hindu Parishad. VHP said that family control is not within the purview of Hindu parents, rather a requirement of the nation. Every Hindu family must have at least 4 to 6 children to never fall short of Muslim population, else Muslims may surpass us by 2050 and we shall never be able to make India a Hindu Rashtra. Friends, such derogatory and fratricidal eruptions spread communal hatred and polarize the communities. It is also disturbing the tender thread of love and affection between people of the same land and demanding the fundamental provision of the Constitution for preserving secularism and promoting fraternity. Issues like teaching of Ramayana and Bhagavad Gita in schools to promote Hindutva too defy the above constitutional provisions and tend to polarize the societies on lines of caste and religions and germinate hatred and conflicts amongst the people and the communities of the land. It is worrying that none of such preachers is ever warned or punished by the government of the day or the judiciary, and such fratricidal acts keep escalating, polluting and fragmenting the societies. Any fratricidal act is a violation of the basic law in terms of our constitution. Frequent fratricidal eruptions must be banished by rule of law, by the government, and if not by the government, by the judiciary, to comply with this fundamental constitutional obligation. Friends, in the din of such controversies and political squabbles, people's hardship and miseries are pushed to inconsequentiality, and they continue suffering with the same predicaments elections after elections. Nations are not governed on whims or self-seeking agendas, but clear vision and convictions. The only motto of all governments must be welfare of the people and fulfilling the basic objectives of the Constitution. In terms of part 3 and 4, as discussed already. Friends, this was for today. Next time I'll tell you more about our Withering Brotherhood. Till then, goodbye and thank you.